I'm live. According to my hello, hello everyone. Hopefully you can see and hear me. And yeah, we're gonna do a little live stream. So sorry, I'm really nervous. And yeah, so you're here, computer's here. There's a bit of a lag when I talk and when you hear it. So by the time you comment and then I see it, there's a lag, so just expect that. Um, yeah, so yeah. Anyways, yeah, can you hear me? Am I heard? Let's start with there because I hooked up my microphone, and so I'm going off my camera and this mic. So yeah, hopefully you can hear me. Oh, maybe Flossie will send me a text and let me know. Okay, you can hear me. Good. Okay. So anyway, that's all I needed. I just needed to know that I was heard before I continued talking. So yeah, I thought we could talk about the Dempster Highway and the Arctic and stuff like that. So I'll just yeah, I don't know, get going. I guess off the top of my head, there was some things I found really interesting about the community of Tuk Tuk Tuk, which I'm not totally correctly. I've tried and I can't hear how it's different. I just have been told that that's not the correct way to say it. But yeah, it's a really neat place. It's very cold most of the year, and up in the Arctic, there's permafrost, which is basically the ground is completely frozen year round, so the surface will melt seasonally and then freeze, but below it, everything is just frozen. So how much will thaw in the summer like can vary in depth. So part of that that means like the houses aren't built the same way down south. There's not a foundation. They put pillars in to the ground and then build the house on that, and that allows like the ground to move quite a bit with the permafrost. But that also means there isn't like sewage systems and plumbing, which is like something I guess I'd never really thought about before, but it's a lot like vans. All the houses have holding tanks for clean water, gray water, black water, I guess. And so the trucks come to bring water and take away waste either every day or a few times a week, depending on what schedule the house is on. So yeah, that was something really neat that, it's like a neat way of dealing with such an extreme climate, um, and I wanted to share that because I had just, like, never heard of that being the case, and that's kind of, like, that's how most vans and, like, RVs are. You have to pump your tanks and fill water, except there's just a truck that basically is going around town all day, every day doing that for everyone. So, yeah, I thought maybe we'll start with questions specifically about Tuck, tuck, tuck. Maybe I'll be able to answer them. There was some questions. There was actually a lot of questions when I put out that video, and then I was planning to do this, and then of course, like I didn't make any notes or prepare anything. I'm just winging this, as I just always have. I mean, I've thought about it, but yeah, basically just winging it. So there was, I think, two different kind of like grocery general stores, but, I only went into one of them, and the food selection is really limited. It's, like, maybe the size of, like, a like, a decent sized gas station. Like, I've been to truck stops in the US that have more food than the grocery stores, and so that all gets trucked in, and it's mostly, like, non-perishable, and, yeah, not necessarily, like, the most healthy. Like, you're not really gonna be able to easily eat, like, kinda like a Whole Foods organic diet unless you are dealing with getting your own food. So oh, okay, Flossie, was I think the population of Tuck is around 1,000 people, um, in, like, the whole area. So with the groceries, I bought very few groceries there. Like a normal sized bag of chips was like $6 or $7. A can of soda, like just a can of Coke, was like almost $3, and, like, a single pack of, like, ramen noodles was 2 or $2 maybe, $3. So it is pretty pricey, and the prices were pretty similar in Inuvik, which is still above the Arctic Circle, but south of Tuk by about 2 hours or so, but yeah, it was really pricey, and there was a bit more produce available in Inuvik, but also, a larger population. I'm not sure what it is, but it's like like a proper town size vibe, maybe like a few thousand, and that's also where, like, there's a lot of kinda, like, government employees and work type there. Yes, I did try the muktuk, um, just, like, I had, like, 1 piece. It tasted very salty. It wasn't a bad taste at all, but, it was really fatty, and my body was, like, not used to that at all. So, uh, okay. So in Tuktoyaktuk, most of the season, most of the population is like they're year-round residents. They're local Inuit people who, many decades ago, the government kind of like rounded up all the nomadic people and said, "Hey, you live here." So it wasn't really a town site before the government did that, but they live there all year round. I'm sure more people go to visit in the summer, and then I think pretty much the same with Inuvik. I met somebody who used to work up there, construction, and he said he was, like, building houses in the middle of winter and, like, -40 when it's dark 24 hours a day, so kinda seems like life just goes on all year round, regardless of the weather, so, um, uh how was the cell service up there? It was really good. It was really good when you were in a town, and then other than that, there was no service. But yeah, it was quite good, um, but like limited reach. So yeah, I'm just trying to look at the chat also for questions. So okay, what was it like going into the Arctic Ocean? It was actually kind of scary because there's so many like waves, like messy wake waves and like a lot of sediment. So you couldn't see through even when it was just like 6 or 7 inches deep, like you couldn't see the bottom. So it was just completely blind. I wear sandals always when I go in water, so it was just completely blind, like walking into the water. And so, yeah, I was like a little freaked out by that because I like couldn't see anything or like have any idea. But it actually wasn't even close to the coldest water I've been in. When I was there, the ice had been melted for a month. The shore ice had melted away about a month earlier than normal, which was pretty alarming. But any flowing water that comes out of the mountains up here is definitely colder than the Arctic Ocean was. And that's also like the Arctic Ocean's quite big, and that was like a huge bay on the Arctic Ocean, or I guess the Beaufort Sea. So, yeah. Uh, Karen wants to know, was it hard to find showers? So I just showered at the territorial park in Inuvik. There was a couple different places in Inuvik you could get a shower. And so I just did that when I went through, but I didn't have any showers in Tuktoyaktuk, and now that I know how the water and plumbing system works, I'm not surprised. Yeah, it's, not everyone has to, like, ration, but there's definitely sometimes people have to ration. Um, was your Arctic trip the most incredible adventure to date? Um, that's really hard to say. Probably actually hiking the PCT. It's a different type of adventure, but just being on foot makes things more intense. Um, but it was definitely the longest gravel road I've driven, and I really, really fell for the Arctic. And so I've been reading like some Adam Schultz books since because he's done a bunch of like big paddling, like long distance, long time trips in the Arctic. So I just like hearing stories about up there. And I would love to see more Arctic regions from around the world someday. Um, mhm. Oh, do you think I can make it up there in my SUV Honda Civic? Definitely. Yeah, you can basically like I wouldn't take a Ferrari or like a lowrider sports car, but any vehicle can get up there, especially when the road is dry. In the winter, like you'd want to like you sometimes they close sections because of like storms and snow drifts, but yeah, in the summer the road was really good. It's just bumpy, so you want to have good tires. A lot of people get flats blow tires, but I have uh, good quality dense rubber 10-ply truck tires, and I have no problems. But I did get several chips in the windshield, and that is to be expected. So yeah, you might get windshield chips or like chips on the paint, or flat tires are very common, but there's not really much for like potholes. There's very little washboard. There's a few kind of sandy sections, but I've saw every type of vehicle up there, and a lot of locals just drive like cars, like Honda Civic type things. So yes. Seems like everyone was very friendly and happy to have visitors. Was that the vibe everywhere or just during the festival you went to? Yeah, for the most part, like, everyone's being really friendly, in all the towns, like, everyone I saw. So, yeah, yeah, they just yeah, it seemed nice, especially in Tuck, like, everyone who went by, like, drove by me when I was walking or something or at camp, like, they just wave, say hi, or stop and ask where you're from. So the road to drive there has only been open for, like, 5 years or something, maybe 6 years, so having summer visitors, like, driving in is a relatively new thing. There was an ice road in the winter, but now people can get there pretty much year round. Oh, I have just lost some of the I don't know, the chat just jumped. So, um, yeah, let's see. Well, thanks for helping out. Did I make any new friends or subscribers on my trip there? I made some friends in Tuck. Yeah, I made a cou friends with a couple locals, which was really nice, but I don't think any new subscribers. I did get a lot of comments, though, that other people going out there saw my van, but they didn't come say hi. And then I had one person comment on a photo that somebody had posted a photo of my van not knowing who I was. Um, but since finishing the Dempster, I have ran into so many so many viewers have said hi. It's been really fun. I cannot go into Whitehorse without somebody recognizing me every single time somebody comes up to me. 3 different times at the grocery store. So, yeah, that's been really great. What was the average hours of rest you received during the day, night? Um, like maybe 5 hours? Like, and I might have, like, a nap during the day or just, like, lots of downtime, but I was probably averaging, like, 5 hours of sleep a night, which yeah, it got hard because too, even though I'd be tired, I'd be all motivated and wanna, like, do all these things and wanna be busy and yeah, so I was, like, really, really stoked, but, it just yeah, it started to burn me out, but then the lighting is the nicest, like, through the middle of the night, so that's when I wanted to be up, enjoying the light and filming and stuff like that, so, did I miss seeing trees? Not really. I was really happy to be out of the trees and just to see the mountains because I used to climb a lot of mountains, and I just, like, haven't really been able to lately for, like, my own health reasons and mostly looking after Frank. So, it was actually great to, like, not have to do any physical effort and just get to, like, hang out in these, like, open places, but once I was back in the trees, it was very nice. Rescue dog treats. Thank you. That is Dana. She is also a moderator. Thank you so much. Land fund. Yes, it's gonna happen someday. It's off topic, but I have a very, very, very clear image of what my land will look like through all the seasons and how I'll use it and what will happen to it after me and all of that. Like I've been thinking for years and I know it's gonna happen someday and I know it's gonna be amazing because I ended up with Frank and I thought of him 4 years before I got him 4 years, and he was in mind, and then one day it just felt like the right time. I went looking for a dog and he appeared, and he was even better than I had imagined, so we're gonna just get back to the the Arctic. What would you rather have more friends or more subscribers? Oh, more subscribers! That might sound really shallow, but I have really good friends. I have enough really, really good friends. My friendships are extremely satisfying. I don't really feel like I have the time or, like, emotional capacity to take on, like, more than, like, maybe 1 or 2 close friends, and I'm not really into, like, shallow, like, acquaintance friendship, so I would just way rather have, like, tons more subscribers because then that would get me closer to land, and that'd be really fun, and it also is really nice reading the comments when my videos have a positive impact on people, and so, of course, I would like to have more of that positive impact. I'm sure I also rub people the wrong way, and some people don't like me, but they don't have to stay around. Okay, were you able to find any donuts on your Dempster highway trip? Mm, like, there might have been, like, prepackaged donuts, like, in a store somewhere, but I didn't look or see, but there definitely wasn't donut shop, so you're not gonna get, like, the fancy $5 donuts that are really popular and super worth it these days. Is there a better time of year to go up there with less mosquitoes? Yes! Yeah, probably, like, sometime in August, they would die down, and then, like, now would be a great time, there'd be autumn colors the whole drive, it would be cold at night for sure, it might be cold during the day also. You might also be starting to get close to getting snow, but there wouldn't be mosquitoes at all. As soon as it starts to get cold or freeze at night, then, like, all the flying bitey things go away, and then people also go up in the winter, although I personally have no interest in going up in the winter because everything would just be white and snow, whereas the tundra, like, the magic of the tundra is these tiny, like, low plants, and they're so different, there's so many different textures and colors, so it's like you could have this amazing variety of the tiny tundra world, or you could just have snow. So, yeah, for me, the mosquitoes, looking back, were worth it, even though they were maddening because it was so beautiful, but also I had time to, like, spend time to hide from them, and then when it was, like, windy, go and do stuff, so if I was trying to do the whole thing in, like, 2 weeks, it would probably feel really rushed, and the mosquitoes would probably not be worth it, but, I kind of started my way up, like, right on the cusp of what they consider spring, summer up there, so there was still, like, the last piles of winter snow melting and, like, the very first flowers to come up, and my way north was, like, peak tundra wildflower season, but time I came down, I was, like, at the very end of summer, and now it is well into autumn, so yeah, but just, going all out on it. Okay, sorry, I'm having trouble